December 7, 1941, a date which lives in infamy. But why did Japan launch a surprise attack on the United States? Was it about conquest, survival, or something far more strategic? By the 1930s, Japan had transformed into a military and industrial power. But unlike European empires, Japan lacked critical natural resources, especially oil, rubber, and iron. To fix that, Japan invaded Manchuria in 1931 and launched a full-scale war in China by 1937. The goal? Control Asia and secure the raw materials needed to fuel their war machine. But this expansion alarmed the West, especially the United States. As Japan moved deeper into Southeast Asia, the U.S. pushed back with harsh sanctions. In July 1941, America froze Japanese assets and, most importantly, cut off oil exports. This was devastating. Japan imported 80% of its oil from the U.S. With only about 2 years of oil reserves left, Japan faced a choice: withdraw from China and lose face, or seize resources by force and risk war. Japan chose war. To get the oil and materials they needed, Japan planned to invade Southeast Asia, especially the Dutch East Indies. But there was one major obstacle: the U.S. Pacific Fleet at Pearl Harbor. If the fleet stayed intact, it could stop Japanese expansion. So Japan's solution? Hit the fleet first, knock out American naval power, and then secure the resource-rich territories. The hope was to deliver a quick, crippling blow that would shock the U.S. into negotiating peace. On the morning of December 7, 1941, Japan launched a surprise air raid on Pearl Harbor. Over 350 aircraft struck battleships, airfields, and docks. More than 2,400 Americans were killed. 8 battleships were damaged or sunk. But the U.S. aircraft carriers, the real backbone of naval warfare, were not in port. This would come back to haunt Japan. Far from breaking U.S. morale, the attack united the country. On December 8, the United States declared war on Japan. A few days later, Germany and Italy declared war on the U.S., dragging America into both the Pacific and European theaters. Instead of a short war, Japan had awakened a sleeping giant and signed its own death sentence. So why did Japan attack Pearl Harbor? It was a desperate gamble for resources, driven by imperial ambition and the fear of being strangled by embargoes. It achieved initial success, but at a terrible long-term cost. If you found this breakdown interesting, hit like and subscribe for more untold stories from World War II. And tell us in the comments, do you think Japan had any other choice?